I hope that Springfield can become anti-racist, because we love to say Springfield is a place where we love each other and we would never, you know, hate anyone of any type of group, but it's happening in Springfield right now.
We are continuing our team coverage tonight on the Haitian migrant influx in Springfield. First, Springfield City Schools evacuated, though, 2 school buildings and closed another. This comes just one day after an elementary school was evacuated following a bomb threat at City Hall.
This also comes just 1 week after Springfield Middle School saw a heightened police presence last Friday due to another threat. Today, Perrin Woods and Snow Hill Elementary students were evacuated to an alternate district location. Roosevelt Middle School also closed today prior to school starting.
In a statement, the district says the evacuations and closings are related to information they received from the Springfield Police Department. Today, we spoke with Springfield students and parents on how this situation makes them feel.
It makes me honestly feel like not unsafe, but just, you know, worried about my city. Like, I don't want nothing to happen, and extreme stuff like that, like bombs, like that's extreme. So, you know, I just want the city to be safe, and I feel like it's just it's unsafe right now, but we can make it. We got a chance to make it more safe.
These threats in Springfield now have other districts in Clark County on a high alert.
Our district and building administrators are in constant communication and collaboration with our school resource officer, who is providing us with real-time updates from the Clark County Sheriff's Office.
Now, he goes on to say any word of threats is immediately followed by the district's policies and procedures to take action.
In addition to those bomb threats, Clark County schools are also dealing with a rapid rise in enrollment following that migrant influx we've been talking about now for a week. Springfield's mayor says that they've seen around 2,000 additional students over the last 3 years.
So this week, we've been working to separate fact from fiction when it comes to this influx, and I looked into what's causing the increase in enrollment and what resources the districts there may need.
There's several additional students over the last 3 years. I think there's about 2,000, about 1,500 to 2,000 new students over the last 3 years.
I started the process of reaching out to the Springfield City School District and Clark State Community College on Wednesday morning after hearing from Mayor Rue on Tuesday. I was hoping to learn what resources these schools need to handle such a major increase in students. I reached out to both again on Thursday, getting this response from Clark State Community College saying, quote, "Thanks for thinking of us, but I politely declined this interview. Thanks for understanding." I still hadn't heard back from the Springfield City School District, so I started reaching out to others to see if they had seen an increase. I learned the other district in Clark County who has seen an increase in students was the Clark-Shawnee Local School District, but that was mostly due to a new housing development behind the Walmart on Tuttle Road. However, Superintendent Brian Kuhn says they have seen an increase in students whose English is their second language.
So the Clark County Educational Service Center provides us with ESL tutoring support to help them get a better grasp of the English language and provide instruction and guidance to our teachers on how best to serve and support those students in the classroom.
After 2 days,
migrants eating animals that circulated via social media. As we've told you all week, the city of Springfield says it has no verified reports of that ever happening. And the city and governor said Haitian immigrants are here legally through the immigration parole program. President Biden, meanwhile, also addressing the situation today at the White House.
I want to take a moment to say something like so many Americans like Greene, as he pointed out, a proud Haitian American community that's under attack in our country right now. Simply wrong. There's no place in America. This has to stop what he's doing. It has to stop.
The president is referring to White House press secretary, who is a Haitian American. Karine Jean-Pierre echoed Biden's sentiment, saying there is no place for hate in America. And we're always bringing you updates on air, online, and on our social media pages. Be sure to like and follow us at Dayton 24/7 Now on all platforms. We'll keep you in the loop as we learn more.
Tonight we are following a developing story, a crash involving a police cruiser now under investigation. It happened at the intersection of Fishburg Road and Brant Pike in Huber Heights just after 3 o'clock this afternoon. You're taking a look at video from the scene. Now Lieutenant Dallas Roots with the OSHP says that a Huber Heights officer was responding to an emergency call when he and an SUV collided.
We'll be collecting witness statements, analyzing the video. Obviously, right now we're obtaining field measurements or measurements from the scene for investigation. We'll get evidence from the video camera from the patrol car.
Now, the driver of the SUV and a passenger were taken to the hospital, but they're expected to be okay. The officer was not hurt.
Now take a look at this. Police are investigating after a pursuit ended near Austin Landing. We now know that incident started as a complaint call of a trespassing and attempted theft in Clear Creek Township involving 2 individuals. The pursuit began when officers saw 2 stolen vehicles, one from Richmond, one from Diamond Drive. During the chase, the Richmond vehicle crashed into the median before a juvenile got out and ran. The suspect was later arrested and the second vehicle was recovered in Dayton. Police are still looking for that driver. The incident remains under investigation.
Let's give you a live look right now from our Eco Plumber Skycam. Beautiful Friday night out there, Natalie.
Yeah, great evening for some football. We got some clouds around the area. Temperatures hanging out in the 80s. It's very warm and it's also dry still. No rain, unfortunately, with 86 in Dayton, 85 in Troy. We got 84 in Greenville, 87 in Middletown right now. Overall 80s across the board. Now notice here satellite and radar showers just to our southwest. This is from the remnants of Francine, which will continue to weaken. We will be tracking eventually a system that will make its way off the east coast and then try to bring us some rain later into next week. But until then, we got a pretty quiet forecast ahead. So heading into the overnight hours, not quite as mild or not quite as cool, I should say, as it has been, dropping into the lower 60s compared to the 50s and even 40s that we had earlier this week. Have a look at the rest of the weekend coming up in just a bit.
This year's Ohio school report cards were released today. Local districts are now touting their achievements. Dayton Public Schools receiving an overall 2-star rating, with 10 schools increasing their individual star ratings. Fairborn City Schools increased their rating this year to an overall 4 stars. Kettering City Schools receiving an overall 4.5-star rating. Centerville City Schools and Bellbrook Sugar Creek Local Schools both receiving 5 stars.
Today, Five River Metro Parks officials are unveiling their largest renewable energy project to date. It's all part of their commitment to sustainability. Melena Brown joins us now from 2nd Street Market with how the project works.
Today, Five Rivers Metro Park officials were joined by state and local representatives to unveil this. This is one of the new solar power panels that is going to power the 2nd Street Market. On top of this building, there are 131 solar panels that have been installed, making it the most powerful solar energy source in downtown Dayton. The Five River Metro Parks officials tell me that their conservation efforts are really their goal. They want to commit to sustainability and helping reduce the effects of climate change. They anticipate that this installation on top of the 2nd Street Market will help reduce energy costs by 25 to 50%, and they also have plans to do this in other parks as well. Now, there's so much that goes into this specific energy source, and we have more details on our website, Dayton247now.com. Back to you.
House Republicans hitting a roadblock as the deadline to fund the government approaches. What's at stake next?
It is week 4 of high school football here in Ohio. Matt Digby is going to be breaking down the games he's keeping an eye on for tonight's Donato's Football Friday.
And I'll have a look at our weekend forecast, plus when we have some rain chances back as well. That's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Sponsored by the Social Security Disability Law.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Friday morning looked a little moody at dawn along Mobile Bay as Francine's remnants continued to swirl around the area. Meanwhile, in southern and central Ohio, at the northern fringe of Francine's remnants, the clouds were at a much higher altitude, allowing for these stunning sunrise pictures we received from viewers.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
Tonight, Congress is ending the week no closer to an agreement on funding the government before the end of the month deadline. Complicating matters is a bill about voters showing proof of citizenship in federal elections. National correspondent Altra Al-Nashar has the very latest from Capitol Hill.
With 2.5 weeks before the deadline to fund the federal government and 7.5 weeks until Election Day, House Republican leadership just hit a major roadblock.
No vote today because we're in the consensus building business here.
That was House Speaker Mike Johnson on Wednesday after he delayed a vote on a plan to fund the government for 6 months, bundled with a conservative bill called the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility, or SAVE Act, which would require proof of U.S. citizenship to vote in federal elections.
In addition to additional penalties for federal employees and state and local election officials that register non-citizens to vote.
However, it's already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections, and cases of non-citizens trying to vote in national elections are extremely rare. Speaker Johnson's struggle isn't coming from across the aisle. He doesn't yet have enough support within his own razor-thin Republican majority for this package of legislation to pass the House. Republican Congressman Corey Mills of Florida is one of the holdouts. He supports the SAVE Act, but doesn't want it tied to a temporary budget, which he does not support. He also argues it's too late for the SAVE Act to impact November's election. But even if it manages to get through the House,
this bill is not a serious bill.
It's dead on arrival in the Democratic-led Senate.
Well, dry weather persisting across the Miami Valley. Francine stayed south of our region, and our drought monitor that was new yesterday still showing, of course, that severe drought that has expanded into Montgomery County and also Miami County, Shelby County, Warren County, all of our eastern counties, rest of the region under those moderate drought conditions. So we're still in desperate need of some rain here, but unfortunately this weekend is looking very dry. Now, there is a sliver of hope for next week with a potential storm system that could bring us some rain by our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday timeframe. So I'm going to be watching that closely. But this is a look at what's going on right now. We do have an area of low pressure, which is the remnants of Francine, situated in Arkansas right now. But heading through this weekend, start of next week, there will be a system developing off the East Coast that may make its way westward enough to bring us a chance for rain. Still just slim chances, and I will say this is just one particular model run. When we put a forecast together, we have to look at multiple different forecast models and decide what we think is going to be happening here in our region. And I will say right now, it's looking more than likely that we'll have a dry forecast, but we'll continue to watch this, see if we'll have any changes, as this does indicate potentially a low pressure system approaching from the east and then making its way westward, which would bring a chance for showers for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday timeframe. Otherwise, this weekend is looking dry, so if you wanted to do some tailgating for tomorrow, it's going to be very warm with highs that will be in the upper 80s.
Good evening, I'm Matt Digby. This is the Bob's Discount Furniture Sports Desk. It's the fourth Friday of high school football in Ohio. Once again, plenty of games to look forward to in the Miami Valley as we get ready for another edition of Donato's Football Friday. Our game of the week is in Miami County as Tippecanoe hosts Piqua. GWOC play begins tonight. Springboro, Fairmont, Beaver Creek, and Springfield are the home teams. Xenia welcoming Stebbins to Doug Adams Stadium. Valley View is back home as they'll face Carlisle. And Gwen and I will see you at 11 on ABC 22 with scores and the best plays from week number 4. 2024 was a year to remember in a positive way for the Dayton Dragons. First season with a new manager in Vince Harrison Jr. and the Dragons qualifying for the playoffs for the first time since 2017. They were the second half winners in the Midwest League East Division standings. However, the Lake County Captains winning the best of 3 playoff series in 2 games, coming from behind to win both Tuesday and Thursday. Cincinnati Reds, meanwhile, in action tonight on the road at Minnesota. That's a look at sports. I'm Matt Digby.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Hun, you gotta take airborne.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, this weekend is going to be a very warm one, so if you wanted to soak up some of these last summer-like days, this weekend's a good one to do so. It is going to be dry still, unfortunately. 60s starting off our day tomorrow, upper 80s by the afternoon. Same thing with our Sunday. We'll be tracking sunshine, upper 80s by the second half of the day. So staying very warm for the entire weekend and through next week, too. It's looking pretty warm as well. Now, in my previous forecast, I was talking about those rain chances Tuesday into Wednesday. I will say it is just a low chance for some showers at this time, as we will be watching an approaching system making its way off the East Coast. So just putting a chance for showers in there currently. Temperatures are going to be in the lower 80s with lows in the 60s. So that dry, warm weather does persist across the area. Notice our normal high, 79 degrees, our normal low, 58, and we will be several degrees above that heading into these next 7 days.
I want the 70s and 60s.
Me too. We'll get them eventually.
I'm hoping so. And rain,
Right.
hopefully.
Yes, we need that, definitely.
We definitely need the rain.
Right.
We'll see you over on Fox here in just a moment. Have a good night.
The Triple Option Podcast, presented by